Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Mandy and today I am sharing with you a fall garden tour. This is going to be for November. Today is November 9th. I'm kind of hiding here. My garden bed is over there. I'm kind of hiding behind this bush. It's so windy today. I have been planning on making this video for a couple days, but the wind is so bad that I just didn't think you'd be able to hear me. So I'm making my intro here, hiding under my last green bean plant that I am, actually it's dying because I snipped the ends of it hoping it would dry out and my seeds would dry out so I could save them. So today, not only am I going to show you what the garden looks like and how things are doing, but I have some garlic to plant. I bought this elephant garlic at Walmart. I have no idea if this is gonna work or not. Last year when I planted garlic, I just used store-bought garlic and it was fine. I wanted some bigger cloves this year, so I'm using elephant garlic. Sorry, the wind is so bad. Also, garlic is a really heavy feeder. I think that's what you call it. Anyway, it needs a lot of fertilizer. So I have a little bit of this vegetable and tomato fertilizer left, and I'm gonna just like put it in the dirt before I put the garlic in the ground. So I think that's it. I need to take the hose out of this bed and kind of reposition it for the winter time, and I'm gonna try to do that today. I pulled up all of my green bean plants and kind of just laid them on top of the bed so that they could break down right in the bed since nothing else is planted in there right now. I did want to do a cover crop, but I never did put anything in the ground. So I'm gonna plant my garlic. I'm gonna cover it up with some of that some of those plants that are breaking down, and hopefully it will be like a good mulch for the garlic until next spring when it starts growing. So I'm gonna turn you around and we're gonna get this bed worked in a little bit, get this hose put how we want it, and plant this garlic. All right, let's go. All right, I got that garlic planted. Super happy about that. I've kind of planned out this garden bed for next year already, and I think it's mainly going to be green beans. I want to have a few tomato plants in the back and some pole beans growing up some tall sunflowers, and these trellises on the side I want to keep to do cucumbers and sugar snap peas, but I think everything else is going to be green beans. So what I'm going to do now is just spread out all the plants and stuff that are in there right now. Sorry, wind's blowing really hard. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm going to spread it all out, and that's going to be it. Then I'm going to show you everything we have growing right now. All right, the wind quit blowing for a minute, so I'll just show you. These are falling over. Like I said, I cut the bottoms back down there so the plant would dry out and the seeds would dry out so I could collect them for next year. I pulled a couple off of this plant right here because they are the like broad beans that I don't want, so I didn't want any of those falling in the ground and replanting themselves. Marigolds are like barely hanging on. There's like one right there that's still hanging on. Sugar snap peas are just not doing well. They didn't do well in the spring either. I'm not really sure what I'm doing wrong. I don't know if they're not getting enough water or what the problem is. I'm gonna have to adjust that hose, but I don't know. They're not doing that great. They were getting a lot of shade before I pulled everything out. My basil is still here. I was just hoping it would like reseed itself so I didn't have to plant it again. And then sugar snap peas over here. Yeah, so I turned the water on. I covered it up really good. So my plan for next year is to have bush beans all in the front here. I want a path right here with nothing, and then like a path right here with nothing so I can get to the back where I want to have some tomatoes, and then I want to have a couple of really tall sunflowers that pole beans can grow up. Now the wind's gonna blow. So that's it for this bed. I would say it's been put to bed and it's done for the year. It's not freezing here yet, and these sugar snap peas are still growing. Like I said, they're just not doing amazing. So I'm gonna pick that one. Its seed was getting really big, but I think those might be peas instead of sugar snap peas. Now, since the last time you saw my garden, I bought this, I ordered off of Amazon. It's this freeze protection sheet, and it's just supposed to keep everything from freezing in a light freeze. We haven't had one yet, but you never know. My Roma tomatoes looking a little sad. I think it's getting a little cold, but I want those tomatoes to ripen. And my bell peppers down here are still hanging on. That one's got some buds on it, so that is super exciting. Hopefully it'll hold on until those get ripe. I don't know how they'll ripen under this sheet, but I have high hopes, honestly. And my ultimate goal would be that these will survive until the spring and I could keep them going next summer. I'm hoping to move this whole pot into the garage when it starts getting cold and just bring it out on warm days so they can get some sunshine. I don't know. I also have a really poor grow light that I could use to keep them warm, but I don't know. We shall see. So that's it for this side of the yard. I've got a big mess I gotta clean up. So Caitlin's playing with the dog. When you walk this way, this tomato is still holding on. It's got ripe tomatoes on it. I think being under this tree is kind of like keeping some warmth in here and keeping it from getting too cold. I mean, look at this. It's still putting on tomatoes, and it's November 9th. Spaghetti squash, he's gone. And then this bed, I covered up with that freeze cloth just because the nights are supposed to get to 40. And I wasn't really sure what temperature was too cold, but I will pull this back and show you how everything under there is doing. Also, the strawberries are still here, and I don't really know what strawberries do in the winter, but they're here and they're still green. So I live in zone 8B in Arizona, so I mean, we get winter here, it gets cold. Last year we got snow and we had a late freeze like April 1st, and our last freeze is supposed to be in February. So we'll see what this next year brings. But also, if you've never watched before, my husband made this garden bed for me this spring. I think it's 36 feet long, 4 feet wide. possibly 4 feet tall as well, maybe 3.5 feet tall. It's beautiful. I absolutely love it. He's planning on putting another one down there maybe this spring. Who knows? Hopefully not, because I just planted my garlic. But anyway, let me pull this freeze cloth back and show you what we got going on in here. All right, so the nice thing about this cloth is it's always a surprise every couple days that I open it. So we'll start down here. I planted beets in this section, and this is like where my frost cloth sits, so they're kind of getting pushed out, and this side doesn't seem to get much water, so it was kind of a fail. I tried to transplant some, but it doesn't look like they survived. There's one right there, but that's okay. Beets grow really well in the spring. I have carrots all right here. That back there is kale. All of this is romaine lettuce, and then this here in the middle is black-seeded Simpson. So I've grown romaine before, not the black-seeded Simpson, so the romaine's actually getting really big. Hopefully we get to eat some of that. This is a like a head of romaine. I cut the bottom off and planted it, and it's growing. I have a couple of those in here. There's one there, one there, one there, all at different stages. This whole section, all of this is cilantro. This is some more lettuce. These are cauliflower. They are not doing great, but those ones in the back, they get more sun and they're doing a little bit better than these two right here in the front. I have bunching onions. These are onions that I bought at the nursery as starts, and these right here I planted from seed, and I just kind of tried to thin these out a little bit and replanted them in there. These are some green onions I planted from ones I got from the store, and I chopped the top off, just planted them in there. That works really well. These are Brussels sprouts. They're growing really well. I was really surprised at how well they're doing. I have some celery here. These carrots look really good. I've just been thinning them out little by little. All of this is broccoli. Now it's all at different stages. I planted this first, and then I planted these later, and there's even a couple in here. This one, I think, that one I planted from seed, that one. So, and there's also some green onions mixed in there with them. These have gotten so much bigger since the last time I covered them. I was thinking to myself how the leaves were almost up to this hoop, and now they have gone above it. So I might have to pull that out a little bit. I had to order these separately. They didn't come with the shade cloth. You can use that as shade cloth as well, but freeze cloth. I ordered these separately. I'll try to link them down below. More celery right there. This is a mixture of radishes and cabbage. More radishes. These cabbage are starting to form a little head. They're not very big, but they are forming a head. I made the mistake of giving everything in this bed bone meal, and bone meal I think is high in nitrogen, and nitrogen is what really helps your leafy vegetables to grow more leaves. So like cabbage and broccoli and lettuce and cilantro, it's all really good for that. But radishes, I don't want to grow more leaves. I want them to grow more radish. So look at how big these have gotten. Also, my artichoke plants are huge, and I think they are loving this cloth that I'm putting over them because it is getting so big. The ones I planted last year were not anything like that. So I need to check some of these. I do have cabbage in here that I want to grow more than these radishes. Some of these are ready, some are not. This front row doesn't get enough sun. I need to just make sure that I fill this bed completely in the spring so that, let me zoom you out, so that everything's getting a good amount of sun. Yeah, some of these are still really small, but I really do want those cabbages to get more sun. Oh, it's a pretty good one. All right, some of them you can see the tops and some of them you can't, like that one. See the top on that one? Caitlin, you want to pick some radishes? You want to pick some radishes? You look right here, and if the red part is big, like that one, yeah, you can pick it if you see that big red ball under the green stuff.
I'm guessing you got these ones to them.
Those did not get big enough. I just pulled them thinking they might be, and they weren't. Oh, there's two on that one. I actually made a pot roast last night and we had radishes in it. They were good. I mean, look at that. Look at that little radish and all that green. It's like radish trees. Oh. Oh, I like the purple ones. Okay, well, I got a couple. Oh, look at that one. I got another cabbage back there. He was getting drowned out. Oh, there's another one back there too. I'm just gonna pull all these. I did plant more seeds, but we'll see what we get. All right, you got one? Let me see. Nice. Okay, I think that is everything. This is how the garden is doing in the beginning of November. Some of this stuff is supposed to be producing come December, so I know the Brussels sprouts were like 100 days. I don't think they're ready until January or February, but the cabbage and the broccoli I think are coming up in December. The lettuce really should be done very soon. The only other thing I have growing right now, yeah, she's growing, eating and growing. My snapdragons are still going, and I don't remember what those were, but they're done. So I still have a couple blossoms on my snapdragons, especially when I remember to water them. So I like the view from the door. I like to see all the plants and how high they've come over the bed. It's exciting. All right, and then these snapdragons right here, hopefully they'll go to seed and come back in the spring. That's gonna be it for my small backyard garden. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.